Hello, HSC 440, Diane Russo. Once again, I have a non-ASU student here that's assisting me with the coaching session 3 with Dawn, and I do have her consent. So we'll go ahead and get started with session 3. Hi, Dawn. Welcome back. So happy you can come here today. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good on a beautiful day today.
Wonderful, wonderful. You seem alive. And
yes.
So tell me, anything this week and today in particular you want to talk about?
No, I think I've really worked on some of the things we've talked about this week, and it's helped. And even though, things come up in life and things never go as planned, it seems like things are helping in the day-to-day planning of trying to just get a couple of things done for sure that I have planned. It seems to, so I don't overwhelm myself. Seems to be working better.
Okay,
and
so
especially with you coaching me. When you're checking in with me, it kind of is like, okay, Dawn, get back on track instead of spinning and getting off track.
Wonderful to hear that. So what I'm hearing is that me checking in with you periodically.
Yes, makes a huge difference.
Wonderful, wonderful. We'll definitely keep that. Now, what were some of the things that worked for you this past week in regards to your planning and time management?
Not to plan too much, make some bigger goals for the weeks, but just day-to-days enough that I can handle and extras I could do if I had time or energy, but not to plan too much and then get disappointed because I didn't get it done or things came up, etc.
And definitely we don't want to take too much on to get disappointed. We want to keep that momentum going.
Right.
Now, did you ever feel during the week that things were going to where you thought you could have added more, or?
I don't think so. Some things things were finishing up a bit. As a Girl Scout leader, we just finished cookie sales yesterday after 3 weeks. And that just kind of is like a weird consuming thing during that time period. Either cookie booths or going to sell or picking up cookies or selling. And it takes up a lot of the free time and such and things. And we all kind of get tired and ready. And so yesterday when it came 6 o'clock and the booth was finished and I was packing up, I was like, yes. And then after I've finished something that's been a thing like that, the next day I have trouble not just being, if that makes sense. I don't want to do much, but I need to do something. But it's kind of really, I have a hard time motivating after a big goal is accomplished like that or something is over with, it's just like, well, I finally got that closet cleaned out, and the next day I'm like, okay, I need to start something else. So I'm like, I don't really feel like doing anything else. So it's hard to get, back in gear after I've let go of something that kind of was weighing on me. That makes sense, yeah. Instead of being more motivated, I get less, unfortunately.
More motivated, but less. Okay, so what I'm hearing is you have the drive to accomplish certain tasks, but after that task is done, it's building up motivation for the next task.
Right. And then I think, well, if I want to take, say, okay, well, today I'll take a 30-minute nap and hopefully it'll re-energize me. Sometimes it really, really does, but lately it hasn't. I don't know if it's because of the foods I I don't know what. I'm having just trouble physically, just not just emotionally, but physically feeling well enough to keep going. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I need to change what I'm eating or what. It's just kind of like I feel like I'm dragging, and I don't know if I'm trying to fight off something that's going around or whatever. I'm just feeling so physically blah, but I don't.
Well, do you want to talk more about what you're doing physically to see if there is something that you may want to work towards this week, add on? Or
I think this week I definitely want to try to add on that at least the 20 minutes of good raised heart rate a day. Mm-hmm. I'm going to try to start adding that today. And hopefully today that's going to be the first day today because my daughter can do it with me and try to do that today and start. And that's one thing I think I add because I think the more I do something like that, I think will give me, my body will feel better. It's just been feeling really drugged down and tired. Mm-hmm. I'm getting enough sleep, I believe. I have woke up a couple nights and I've been up 2 or 3 hours in the middle of the night and that always just, the next day I feel like I'm trying to make up for it or something.
Yeah, and definitely sleep is a big component of our overall health and wellness.
Right.
But you feel that you're getting enough sleep?
I think so, but I just thought when I was saying that there was a melatonin right, that it was a light melatonin that I had been taking before I go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really helping me sleep through the night. And I haven't had it the last couple of nights.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not feeling as rested when I get up. So maybe I need to go back and get some more of that. It had magnesium and
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of melatonin in there and some antioxidants to help rebuild during the night and such. So that might be the difference because I haven't had it for a couple nights. So.
And you feel that that's worked for you in the past?
Yes.
So
I was doing it for a couple of weeks. I was like, man, this is really, I was going to sleep faster and sleeping through the night without waking up and having that middle of the night. Even if the puppy got up, taking him out, I wasn't staying up for 2 hours or 3 hours in the middle of the night and go back to sleep at 5 till 6:30. You know, it was like, so I think that staying asleep helps a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, you know, from, if you don't mind me expressing a personal experience in that the effects of sleep on me is kind of the same. Like if I have one rough night, it almost feels like 3 days I need to catch up.
Yes.
So definitely maybe perhaps go back to what you know is working for you, see how that helps. And then let's talk a little bit more about the physical aspect. What did you have in mind in terms of
there's some, I got a new video program that's going to be low impact, but we'll get the heart rate up and more of a stretching kind of active yoga, if that makes sense, kind of thing. It's supposed to be easier on the joints and such. And it's made for people that worry about their joints, and then it builds up, but it goes slowly, so it's not putting strain on you know, doing a bunch of things that would actually, you'd be so hurt, you would be hurting so much next day you couldn't move. Yeah.
Well, you definitely don't want to do something that's going to prevent you from wanting to accomplish your goal.
Right, exactly.
Now, so you mentioned it's 20 minutes long.
Yeah, it starts at 20 and you can keep going. But the first one I think is 20 minutes to start, and then they said you can do 30 if you want to. But I thought, well, you know, I need to be realistic. If I feel like it that day, I could go more, but make myself do at least 20 for this week.
Mm-hmm. Now, kind of reflecting back on your initial discussions were on time management, making time. I know you value family time as well as your time. How do you see this fitting in to make it so that we can you can accomplish that without letting go of those values?
I think that it probably would be best as soon as I take Izzy to school and before Jim gets home from work at almost 9 o'clock in the morning, I'll have an hour, 45 minutes to an hour in there. And that's usually my time to try to kind of get myself together. But I think that needs to be my exercise time, and then those things that I do then do a little bit later. But right then when I'm up and moving and feeling good, because I'm a morning person, that not waiting till I stew or whatever it is, other things, but do it before when I'm by myself there with the first minutes, I think that might be the best bet. Because I've thought about going for walks and stuff with the dogs, and I don't know. I've got to get in a routine, and I haven't. There's just like, for motivation and such. And I need to set a time, I think.
And that is a part of the time management, I think, is what we've talked about, is setting the times for yourself. And you mentioned just getting motivated for that. What do you think is really motivating you for wanting to do this in the first place?
More energy and feeling healthier and losing weight and toning up. I mean, all the things that exercise program will do for you, and also I think too, I'm wondering how mentally of how I will feel, if I would feel sharper afterwards, or, that's a release for stress. For thinking about it, it's a stress creator, but doing it, I'm hoping it'll become a stress reliever.
Interesting that you're able to.
And
do you feel then that just thinking about it overwhelms you?
I don't know. From used to being an athlete, it's really weird to me that I'm not more motivated to do it. I don't know what's going on with me that I feel like, I don't know if I feel like I don't deserve that time to do that, or I think sometimes that's it. Anything I'm doing for myself, I don't I feel like that should be the last, when it maybe should be the first, so I can
Mm-hmm.
take care of everybody else and do everything when I take care of myself. But I think it's kind of a, you know.
Now, I know you said that you value family, and one of your strengths is being able to support and give to your family. Um, I want you to take a moment and think about what would happen if you did dedicate just that 1 hour that you mentioned between 8 and 9 in the morning. What would your life be like? How would you, Dawn,
Mm-hmm.
be after you were able to commit that 1 hour to yourself without
No,
guilt?
I think that would make a big difference. And I think honestly, I would need, because I wanted the exercise to be there, but like a whole hour to an hour and a half for myself, so that I can do. I don't know. I used to love to read magazines, and I've gotten where I just take like 1 or 2 health magazines, but I never read them because I can't calm myself down enough to sit there and read them unless I'm on vacation. And even then, for some reason, I've gotten so out of what I used to be, and I know it really is me, to be able to sit and enjoy reading a magazine and learning and such, or doing, even, I used to love to read self-improvement books.
Mhm.
Now it's like, it seems like it overwhelms me. It's really weird. I don't know why I'm there or why I'm like that. Why is it overwhelming to just sit down and calm down to do that?
And I feel like it's frustrating you
It is.
to not understand why you can't do those things.
Yeah.
And if you were to envision yourself being able to take that hour for yourself, what would it mean to you being a mom, a wife, a friend?
I think it'd be being a better example for others too.
Mm-hmm.
If I turn it to that way, which is the way I think a lot of times, is to be an example of that she cares enough for herself. Mm-hmm. Instead of, because sometimes I saw this with my mother, who was so giving stuff. It comes to a point of almost touch of martyr.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because I gave everything, blah, blah, blah. I don't ever get, well, you don't put yourself up there to take care of yourself, and it's not, it's pretty much on you. It's just not everybody in what they task you with. I think that's it, as I get frustrated with me. I remember, years ago, a counselor was telling me, people don't see you as a perfectionist. She says, but you are a hard perfectionist on yourself, and you beat yourself. You don't expect it in others, but you expect yourself to be able to do all this and do these things. I forgot she said that. She said, so you beat yourself up over things that you shouldn't, mm-hmm. that you would never expect other people, but you expect of yourself to be able to do.
Now, what I'm hearing is, understanding is you are hard on yourself, which we tend to be our biggest critics, yes. Our hardest critics. Have you ever been able to do anything and not feel guilty for taking time away from others or judgmental towards yourself?
I have had points in my life. It's just been so long. Sitting still, I can't seem to calm myself. Mm-hmm. I've talked to my doctor about that, because I do have ADD, definitely, but I just can't. I don't have anybody in my life, which I shouldn't have put on others, sit down and guilt again, or anything except, my pets help me kind of calm down, but just to slow myself enough to really totally relax. Mm-hmm. I just don't do that anymore. And it was always hard, but I had people in my life before that were put a calming on me and just breathed on, just sit and calm and just enjoy this instead of thinking about, what's the next thing I got to do, or I should have done this, or, I can't let go of stuff for some reason. I don't know if it's a mental exercise, if it's physical, if I need something to calm,
Would any techniques?
That's what I'm wondering. There's 1 or 2 ways I have learned used to do some meditations, and there was one that was really funny because it had an action going along with it, so I could do it, because meditating mm-hmm. was just sitting and meditating is just not possible for me. But I had gone to a clinic in Arizona, and actually one that Oprah I got as a gift from Oprah to go to, and it was her spa, and they had different workshops, and one of them was meditation. It was using what they called sand cards, and I have a very spiritual side, and sometime I'll show you my sand cards. And if I would take the time to do those, I kind of get lost in it, and it's a creative thing where you choose these sand pictures and you think about that. What does that represent? That picture that day, and you just think about that, and then there's a little script that she gives you that you can say and questions you can ask, and it works as a meditative thing, but it has an action along with it and a visual, so it works really, hits a lot of my points of my learning, and
being
so
able to focus.
being able to focus.
Because I can definitely relate that when I meditate, I need to have an action going, or else my mind starts wandering right to my to-do list and everything. So do you still have access to those Santa Claus?
Yes.
Okay, and is that something that with reminders, hey Dawn, have you?
Yes, that would be, because it could be definitely something I could work in with my in my hour period or hour and a half time with myself, is to do, pull the sand cards out and do that. It's kind of like when I got into doing my thankful journal every night. Now that it's pretty much a habit, I look forward to it, and I'm proud of myself when I do it.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. Yeah,
and that's what I see in you is you have the strength to create habits, as you demonstrated with your gratitude each night.
Right.
It's figuring out, in a sense, of what is the motivational drive for you to be willing and graciously give yourself that 1 hour.
Yeah.
And thinking about that, where would you say your motivation is in committing to making that change where you give yourself an hour?
I think one thing on the exercise part, and I just say the part of, now that on this weight loss journey I'm at a point, because I've done 2 months that I haven't done any extra activity. I need to add in to keep losing weight and to, build more muscle and everything that the benefits. And I'm at a point that it's time to add something in, and I know that, not just redo my eating, because I'm redoing that and that's going fairly well, but I need to add some. I know that to be successful and get my goal, I need to add something in, and that's what it needs to be added.
And where would you say motivation-wise, on 0 being no drive at all to make that change happen, to 10 being you are ready to start tomorrow and have a plan set? Where would you say
6? Unfortunately, I want to be 10 and more and get closer to that, but I'm at this really weird, I just need to take those steps and do it. It's the motivation. How do I say that? It's kind of like when people say they want to lose weight. Well, sure, we all want something, but are you going to do the steps to do it? Yeah, the want is there, but the action, me getting that steps forward, is not there.
And what do you think those steps are?
Setting that alarm to say it's time. It's kind of like with the food thing with me. It really helped that I was setting alarms for, okay, time to go get a drink, time to get, at first it drove me crazy. Now it's still a reminder. The alarm goes off, okay, you need to go do this. Having an alarm, which is weird for some people and would drive them crazy, helps me keep track of the time, and this is time to do this, and take time to do it. So if I set the alarm to do it,
it's kind of your accountability, your personal accountability.
Yes.
And that, and I know we've talked about that, how you said you set your alarm and it was telling you what to do.
Right.
So is that something you're wanting to try in terms of setting that alarm for yourself?
Yes, I think I need to do that. I'll try it and then adjust the alarm, whatever, if it needs to be the beginning or 10 minutes, like you should have been doing it by now.
Like a nagging alarm.
A nagging alarm. Snooze. Hit that snooze. Okay, Dawn, if you're not doing it, well, that might work. Just hit the snooze on the alarm on the phone. It's got that button.
Yeah.
I
believe like most phones are set for like an 8-minute reminder to go off again. Now, during winter sessions, you mentioned the metaphor about your palette to paint, and you take control of using those basic colors.
Mhm.
Do you see this component being one of your basic colors in your life?
I know it needs to be.
Okay, it needs to be.
Mhm.
And so we just need to figure out, like you said, what are those steps that are going to work for you?
Right.
You talked about the alarm. Is
And I
there
already got
anything
the
else?
program chosen. I mean, that's
Mhm.
not, I did that months ago.
Mhm.
And when I bought it, I promised my husband, you can buy it if you promise you'll use it, Mary. Yes, I'm like, eek, you
Well,
know.
what else? Looking at this week ahead, you mentioned Girl Scouts is over, so that's kind of what was you mentioned consuming a lot of your time. What else do you have coming up ahead that may prevent you from not being able to commit that one hour?
See, I don't think that's what I was thinking about is, I mean, of course, certain things once in a while, like tomorrow, I'm going to take a friend to surgery. But so I'd have to adjust to what time of the day I would do that later. My daughter or something, figure out an alternate time. If I have
Mhm.
something I have to do at 8 in the morning, then I need to have my alternate time be 5 in the afternoon before supper and all that to
Mhm.
do, because there's a time period when my body just seems to say that's not, but maybe 5, if dawn, 5 o'clock, you need to go do that before you cook supper, before you do all this. Because that would be, I need to have an alternate time that is set.
Mhm.
If I didn't do it in the morning, then I need to do it then. So I think that would be, but I was thinking last week, I thought, man, I'm almost ready. There's not a lot of things that I'm knowing that are coming up, which is good. I'm feeling
Mhm.
like, okay,
Mhm.
I sure have house goal projects and things like that, but there's nothing that's pressing,
Mhm.
in this next month, other than a girl's slumber party for 6 10-year-olds at the end of the month.
Oh, you're very brave for
Yeah.
doing that.
We might postpone that and say, we have to do after spring break instead of before, but we'll see. But that.
Now, at the beginning, you talked about how sometimes thinking about doing it overwhelmed you.
Yeah.
How do you feel now by discussing and potentially setting alarm?
Well, being that and then being accountable to you makes a huge difference, because I haven't had. I'm a really independent person. I'm a people person. I'm very independent, but I haven't, because I don't have an accountability person that love is a big factor for me.
Mhm.
I don't want to be accountable for somebody that doesn't know me and doesn't care about me.
Mhm.
It's just something that it's kind of like what they say, don't want drama in your life anymore. We pass that. Well, I don't want people that love me to feel like they're overshadowing me or even trying to help me. I've got to have a connection,
Mhm.
So when you do it, it's like, oh, it's a loving reminder. Okay, yep, I totally forgot, Diane. Here I go. So it's really makes a huge difference. And I think you helping me to get into and have it like that will be, and even just saying, okay, what'd you do in your exercise today? Well, you're not gonna talk, you're not gonna tell you, and be positive that I did it.
Yeah.
But I think that makes a big difference. It does, having a partner, because when you don't, my husband works nights and he sleeps during the days, and our life as far as scheduling is very chaotic, which puts me in chaos. I think in my
Mhm.
mind, I really do. I think it's a not knowing on days what it's going to be like or what we have to do. It makes it really difficult. And then the days that I know are scheduled, I almost panic if I don't get some quiet time in, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Like Thursday's a day Izzy's at school and Jim's either sleeping or he's not up and around.
Yeah.
So I have that day and I'm like, oh my gosh, if I want to have a 20-minute nap, I've got to do it today. I have to do this. I have to do it today, because tomorrow it gets chaos. And I almost overwhelm myself with my goals and wants and needs,
Mhm. Mhm.
So it makes it.
So, what do you think? You mentioned, you're feeling overwhelmed,
Right.
and I can sense that that's frustrating you because you want to have some calm in the storm.
Yes.
And we've talked a little about scheduling times. Has there been anything else in the past that's may have helped you stay calm when things get chaotic, or any other kind of uh, techniques?
I used to be such a calm person. That's what's hard is it's got where I'm not, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
as calm as I mean happy. I shouldn't say calm. I've always was super happy. I feel blah a lot.
Okay.
I don't feel happy a lot. It's not that I feel super sad or depressed.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I have had, when my parents passed away or things are going bad in my marriage, my psychologist I would go to, he goes, you have situational depression. Because you'll never be one of these people that, oh, she's got depression. Yours is situational.
Mm-hmm.
So that, keeping that in my mind, I know sometimes I have to change situations so I will be better.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. So the same thing with whatever the exercise, saying no to some things, or I'm going to be doing it, setting goals and making choices where the situation is better.
Mm-hmm.
So I can do these things, And so it's kind of, I don't know. I'm a hot mess. What can I say?
No, you are not a hot mess. You have a foundation that we're starting with is knowing where you are.
Yeah.
And that's strong, being able to identify where you are. And we delved in a little bit about dreaming. What would that life be like where, like you said, you're able to paint your own picture using your core colors. And we've identified one of those colors being time for you.
Right.
Is there another color that you think would help you in finding this balance? Anything else?
If I am outside some every day, it makes a huge difference with me. Mm-hmm. And I just realized that really in the last week and a half or so. Be it raking the yard, leaves for that, being outside, just playing with the dog, just being outside nature just is my calming. Mm-hmm. So I need to make sure I do that. That I have some time in it, there was somebody, I don't remember who it was, that told me, says, just go out in the morning and take your coffee outside even. Because I love to watch the birds or listen to the birds or whatever. And I put a little table out in my serenity garden so I could do that. And I was doing that for a while and I've gotten away, but maybe just, I'm hurrying to drink that coffee, take that time or the tea, take it out there and just be that, do maybe my cards out there, add the outside nature thing in with it. Because that is definitely my happy place, is being in nature.
And finding our happy place is key to balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I feel and sense from you is that you have tools. You have memory of things that have worked for you in the past. It's now taking those into action.
Exactly.
And where do you think you are in preparation before taking action?
I think the prep time is to move things around, to make that schedule for the day, and maybe not just make my list, but maybe for a few days, okay, do an hour by hour schedule. What are you planning to do this hour? Well, this is going to be a couple hours of laundry, or this is going to be a couple hours of house cleaning, or this is going to be, a couple hours of whatever cleaning, or then this is going to be your exercise time. But maybe just mapping out some days the way they should be, because like I said, I don't foresee a bunch of stuff coming up. And so this is kind of like, I'm kind of excited about that I actually see that there would be where I could do some days of planning and just try that, just so that I know, okay, well, like the food thing, like I said, I used to eat sporadically on things, but now I have, at least a glass of water, if not a snack at 10 o'clock, and the same thing at 4 in the afternoon. I have these things that I'm building in, but it's because of scheduling. And I think that that's part of it. So I don't think so much and just do. Thinking is a horrible thing.
Well, it sounds to me like you are ready to give it a try. And again, that's part of a journey. Making changes is always about a journey. And what may have worked for our spiritual side may not work for our exercise. But we never know until we try.
Right.
And it sounds to me that this is something that has worked for you in the past,
Mhm.
and you already have a habit that is becoming, I wouldn't say habit, you already have a trend that's turning into a habit with your
Mhm.
eating. And do you feel comfortable now, not overwhelmed? Because I know that was something
Right.
you mentioned. Would it, or I should say, would it overwhelm you adding the time onto your
I don't
alarm?
think so. I think it'd be okay because I was thinking of this in the last couple of weeks too. You know, I taught for 30 years. I was on a schedule.
Mhm.
And many summers before Izzy, I'd even teach through the summer for some of that. And when I quit teaching and retired, it really, besides everything that changes from being around the people that I was used to and doing the kids, all that, you know, to a whole different stage in my life. It was like a rebirth that I didn't even know how to walk, and I still have not quite figured out, you know, to get, because I was just thinking, you know, I used to sometimes get more stuff done when I was working than I do now, and that's ridiculous. It just makes me like, it's ridiculous, Todd, you know?
And it sounds to me that you're still trying to figure out this new
Yes,
lifestyle.
yeah, 5 years later, and here I am. Well, I've taken out some of the part, you know, like I've taken out substitute teaching and things like that, so that those are not, you know, so I'm taking out some things that will make it where it should be easier to just make a schedule.
Now, do you have support? You mentioned people that love you are very important to you.
Right.
Who within that network of loving friends do you have that can be your support to help you achieve this 1 hour of you time?
Well, I think, you know, my best friends, unfortunately, is just very similar to me. So but she makes time for that every single day. She said that, you know, it just throws her totally off if she doesn't make her time for the gym.
Mhm.
I mean, that just, and she goes, and I don't want to go again.
Mhm.
She goes, this is the one thing that I, you know, be it where she was, when she used to go at 4:30 in the morning, that's when she went, whatever.
Yeah.
That was the one thing she could hold on to for her to hold her. And I need to get to a point where that's part of that
Mhm.
balance that keeps me, you know, all the physical and mental and everything too, the endorphins you get from exercise. That, you know, so she could help too. Yeah, I've got several friends I could ask you, of course, but you know.
Absolutely,
You know.
absolutely. We have the open communication. Now that we've kind of narrowed in on something that we can work on towards next week, is there
Right.
anything else you want to talk about?
I don't think so. I think that would be good, is to do that hour and have my meditation cards out, outside time, and exercise in that hour.
Mhm.
You know, and just make that the me hour. And I think too, sometimes my mornings, last week, full moon, super moon, just, I don't know what, it was a crazy one. Was what that one was. I mean, my child who has never been easy to get to school was tardy 5 days, all 5 days.
Mhm.
And it drives me insane starting like that. And so I would be, and I know too, from when I'm listening to my parenting tapes, I mean, I probably got to figure out what's going on with her that's causing her to do that. Be it sleep, or we're off medication for a while, so that might help, you know. But getting her back so that I let go of that, and my day starts happy and stays happy. Don't let, you know, her tardiness affect where I'm in a bad mood for the next couple of hours, because I'm like, dang it, what am I doing wrong? What can I do to, you know?
Mhm.
So I think that, you know, we're gonna try to have a long talk tonight.
Yes, children. I'm there with you with my son in terms of
It affects you,
how
yeah.
it does.
And then I want to say I'm sorry when she's at school, you know, because I haven't been more patient, but you know.
And I know how much you value family and love.
Mhm.
That's a very important to you. And as we discussed, that being able to take that time without guilt will make you that.
Yeah, I think so. Balanced. More
Yeah.
balanced.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the 7 areas are
Not your legal wobble wheel.
Yes.
Well, we will. Is it okay if I contact you throughout the week?
Please,
Just check
please
in
do.
as your
Yes.
accountability.
Yes.
And again, everything that we've discussed today, confidential as always. And if you ever need me, you know how to reach me.
Yes.
And finally, we aim for Monday morning of not tomorrow Monday morning, but the following Monday morning.
Yes.
But I don't want to impede on your 1 hour to yourself time.
Right. No, we'll do it after
So,
that. We'll have coffee afterwards.
Fantastic. That sounds wonderful. Well, Dawn, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Looking forward to talking to you next week.
Okay. Excited.